Swaggy, what makes you care about the little traders so much, or the people who are still learning? I don't think you guys understand that I came from a situation just like you guys. I am not somebody who was fed a silver spoon the entirety of their life. I was homeless twice. You guys know the story. And for those who don't know my story already, the situation you guys are dealing with now, struggling to try to make ends meet and then try to understand trading at the same time, I was just in that predicament years ago. And that is why I'm so passionate about this industry, passionate about teaching and educating and doing it live in front of you guys to let you guys know it is possible, right? Like, forget what everybody's saying, forget what your mother is saying, forget what your father is saying, forget the people who don't have money or make money or understand money are saying. Literally only focus on you and what you want to do. If you want to do this industry, understand there are people like me who are just in your position in college, using college refund checks just to use a little bit of that money to fund my account. When I blew that account, I'm in bed like hesitating and thinking in my mind and self-doubting myself in terms of, is this industry for me, and being emotional. Like, I was just in that predicament. So that is why I care so much about you guys, for you guys to finally grasp it, right? It's 2023. I've been teaching and educating since 2020, and I have some six-figure students and some seven-figure students, like my highly successful students. But the reality is, one successful student like goes out the door and lives their own life, and I got a bunch of people who come back in. It's like, all right, let's do this again. Yo, what up, guys? If you don't know who I am, my name is Swaggy C, and I've been trading for the last 9 years and educating for the last 3.5 to 4 years. And today I took some of the best questions I got from my Instagram, and I want to answer them live and direct in front of you guys, because I do believe a lot of these questions are questions you guys have right now, and this could be very, very beneficial to your own trading career. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hi Swaggy, what's your favorite weekdays to trade? Believe it or not, it is actually Monday through Wednesday. There's some people out there who are like, don't trade Mondays, don't trade Mondays. Let the market find its footing. No, let the market find its footing on Sunday. Believe it or not, the market moves crazy on Monday, at least for my peers, like when it comes to gold or GBP AUD, even AUD USD slowly, right? Obviously AU is a little slower at times, but on Monday night, that Asian session going into London session, that is a very, very volatile session, and that is the main session and the main days I was trading when I came up in 2019. It was those pairs and it was those sessions. Reason being is because we don't have that midweek reversal yet, and then it's not, Thursday night going into Friday, where, Friday may just be news announcements, whether it's, the unemployment rate, or people are leaving the office and going home, and the work week is ending, and so the volatility kind of, goes lower and lower and lower and lower. So I like Monday through Wednesday. Even Wednesday, has FOMC, and there's some good fundamental announcements that come out on Wednesday. But the reality is, technical wise, Monday through Wednesday is going to be your best friend. At least it was mine. What is your strategy, and what is your best strategy? This is an easy question, but it's a tricky question, because I've shown my strategy so many times on my YouTube videos, and people will try to learn it, and then within 2 months try to learn from somebody else and learn from somebody else, and think my strategy may be basic because I don't use complex terms and I don't use order blocks. Like, everything is literally the same. It's just called differently in this industry, right? Like, what I'm teaching is not BS. What I'm teaching worked for me. Now, it may not work for everybody, but it worked for a few of my six-figure students and seven-figure students, right? It's okay to learn my strategy, which simply put is price action, right? I trade technicals, but I obviously look at the news a lot, that little lightning bolt on TradingView. I will read literally for an hour Monday through Tuesday and Wednesday throughout the week, just to make sure I am not trading based off the technicals alone. And then the whole sentiment and fundamental analysis is a completely opposite direction, right? I combine those two, but I don't use too many indicators. I use just one, a moving average. I use psychological levels. Them key levels are very, very, very important. And I trade trend lines. I literally trade price action. And people think they have to make trading more complicated than it actually is. No, you simplify it, you make more profits. At least that's my philosophy, because the people who overcomplicate trading, put them against me side by side in a trading competition one-on-one, they will get smoked. And that is the reality. Will the academy come back? Do you offer courses on trading? How to get your course? I need the course, fam. Are you ever opening the lab again? Swaggy, no more Signal Crew. Why is your course closed? There are so many questions about my program and my live trading group because I closed it literally last year and nobody's been able to enter. And I've said it over and over again. When I close this, it's closed for the foreseeable future. I don't know when I'm opening back up. And fortunately for everybody, I have opened it back up for the next few days only. We launched already. We only have a few days left. And the reality is, if you go to www.livetradinglab.com, you can get everything I've ever created behind the paywall. Literally, like all YouTube is like, all free videos, but everything I created for a private group that I used to charge $14.99 for and literally thousands of dollars for, all for $150. One-time payment, never again. Obviously, we talked about it already. It is there because the model I'm focusing on is giving you guys so much value on the higher end at a low price point so that when you guys do make it 4 or 5 years from now, 2, 3 years from now, even be next year, you guys give me my flowers and you may want to trade with me on my platform or the hedge fund I'm starting in a few years. So go there right now and you can see me, trade live, see my mentors trade live, see the community trade live, get our analysis on a daily and a weekly basis, and that can improve your trading. How do you get into big trades with a small account? You see, there's an issue with that question because you're asking how do you get into big trades with a small account. Big trades mean bigger risk. It means you're putting on too high of a lot size, which means 1, 2, or 3 trades and your account may be blown. The reality is you can't really get into big trades with a small account unless you slowly scale that account and slowly raise the lot size every now and then. Prime example, small account, let's say it's $300, right? And you make about $150, 300 to 450. You use, let's say, a 0.04 lot size to get that $150 over the span of a few days, right? Cool, great. Now for that 450 to try to get that 450 to, let's say, 700, maybe you want to use a 0.05 lot size, maybe a 0.06, 0.07. You can raise it up a little bit, but trying to use a standard lot size and you only have $400 in your account, literally all it takes is 40 pips and your account is blown. And you know how the market is. It can move 20, 30, or 40 pips in 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. All it takes is a little bit of news and volatility to push it and your account is blown. So don't look at how do I get big trades with a small account. Think of it as how can I scale my small account so I can end up doing bigger trades down the line. If my job is getting in the way of me trading, what can I do? Find a different job. That's the reality that people don't want to hear. I'm not saying quit your job and go jobless and just be broke and try to figure out how to trade. No, because I didn't do that. But you got to figure out a way. If this is the industry you want to be in and you feel like you can really become successful and live comfortably, through trading, you have to find a job that aligns with that. And here's what I mean by that, right? Like me, I was a babysitter, right? I was babysitting my life away. And I was trading and learning how to trade on the side, right? Because obviously I learned how to trade in 2014 and 2015, dropped out of college, and then 2016, babysitting, 2017, babysitting while trading. Babysitting was making me $4,000 or $5,000 a month. So now I had extra money to put in a trading account, right? When I was in college, I was dead broke. Like I literally only had $2.14 cents in my bank account, and I had to decide between a big bottle of water or a Pop-Tart at night. I tell that story all the time. I'm dead serious. And then when I dropped out, even though it could have been scary to drop out of college my senior year, I was in so much debt. You guys know the story. I started babysitting in the richest city in all of America, Greenwich, Connecticut. And babysitting the families, I was making $1,000 a month, and $2,000 and $3,000, racking up families, ended up making $4,000 or $5,000 a month, and I had extra money to trade with, right? That is alignment. Why is that in alignment? It's because when you're babysitting for 2 or 3 hours, right? And you're having fun. I'm playing basketball with the kids. I'm playing video games with the kids. Then they go to sleep. Then they want to be on the iPad. And guess what I can do? Have my laptop for an extra 3 hours while the family's coming home. They pay me for 6, 7 hours in total with a little bit of a tip. I go home and now I'm up for, 11 to 5 a.m. in the morning trading, and then go to sleep, wake up, and then guess what? Nothing to do in the morning until I gotta go all the way back to Greenwich at 5 p.m. So find something that aligns, right? Even after babysitting, I went on TV, got a big TV check, and I had some cushion for a few months to trade with. You guys, You know, I understand 9-to-5s are cool, but find a 9-to-5 that may be beneficial, right? Be my personal assistant, right? Go find these creators, figure out how to be a videographer. You can be a videographer for them, learn from them, like get actual skills, learn sales, but learn sales in a trading industry, right? You learn sales for a year, you DM me, you DM Q Banks, you DM somebody who has, you know, businesses out there and say, you know how to sell. You can bring, you know, clients to their product. We would hire you. You know what I mean? People I hired just because they sent me a random DM with a graphic design, say, hey, I can design this for your companies. Hey, I can create short form content for your videos. Oh, you're hired. Just off that alone, you guys got to think outside the box, and then your job won't get in the way of you trading. When I trade, it goes opposite side. Why? What to do? The reality is a lot of people think that, like, when I trade, the market is purposely against me. It's not. Chances are when you got in, you done got in 4 confluences too late and missed the entire move, right? The market don't went up 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 pips, and you got in at the 50 pips, not realizing the market has to correct itself all the time. So you guys are getting in wrong, and that's the reality. Like, the market is not the minute this person gets in, Jeremy from Illinois, like the minute he clicks buy, we're gonna tank it. That's not the case. The case is there's something within that trade that you missed and you didn't take into account, and that is the reason why it goes in the opposite direction. Another reason is you're trying to get in and get out. So yes, it may be normal for getting in a trade and then you being in drawdown for a little bit. But the reality is, can you be in drawdown for an hour before the market is positive all the way in your favor? I don't think some of you guys can, right? I'm a swing trader, and I used to be a day trader obviously, but I'm a swing trader, which means I hold my trade a little bit longer, right? So I can, you know, enter a trade and be okay with the market going against me 20 pips because I'm aiming for 140. So you got to figure out your trading style and take into account, what am I missing? When did you have your aha moment in the market? So I made a whole video on that. I don't want to get too much into it here because it's a whole 20-minute video on YouTube that was actually a really, really, really good video. Somebody in the lab actually asked me a direct question. I answered it. But to kind of summarize it, you know, I realized that it wasn't about technicals and fundamentals. It was literally all about psychology and risk management. But the kicker was, I was so fed up with my situation, and my wife was yelling at me saying I wasn't being a man. I wasn't providing really because I'm focusing on reality TV and I'm not really focusing on trading. And then when I get on reality TV, I actually hate it. So I was so fed up with my situation that I was like, I'm gonna lock myself in a room for 3 months and I don't care what happens. I'm figuring this thing out. And guess what? I figured it out. So like the cliche is like, oh, you know, when I learned this is what happened. The reality is the pressure was mounting in my mind to the point where I felt like I got to get out of the situation. And when you feel like your back is against the wall, you literally figure it out. Why is it so difficult to control your emotions in trading even after having the self-awareness of it? This may be the best question and may have the longest response here. The reality is you understand that this is one of the only jobs in the world where there is no cap on how much money you can make in this market. It all depends on you, how smart you are, if you know what you're doing, placing the right trades, trading the right pair, trading at the right time. It all depends on you. And the reality is, it's hard to control your emotions when you know you only have $100 in your bank account and rent is due. And if you place a button, you press a button, buy, and it goes up, you just made money by pressing a button. That is the hardest part to realize. Because no matter what, you know, when you go to your job, a 9-to-5 job, no matter what happens, you are going to get paid for your work, no matter what. NBA, if people win or lose, LeBron can lose 5 straight championships. He's still gonna make millions of dollars. Trading is one of the only jobs in the world where you only get paid if you're correct. NBA players get paid whether they win or lose, right? 9-to-5ers get paid whether they do a good job or not. You may get fired, but the reality is you can come into work and BS and be on Twitter all day, but then act like you're doing work. You're still gonna get your check. That's not in the market. So when you're here, it's hard to control that because you just want to make money. Like, you know, in the NBA, no matter what, you get paid bi-weekly, which is the same as regular jobs. Regular jobs, you get paid bi-weekly. You know a check is coming, even if it's weekly. Here, there's no check that's coming. You can get paid every day. You can get paid nothing at all for the first 3 months and then make 20,000, right? Like, it's always going to be hard. Even for me, I would never say anybody has mastered their emotions in trading. We've learned how to control it and tame it to a certain extent, but I haven't mastered my emotions. I'm still emotional based, right? Like, I understand, like, for 10 straight trades, I may be, you know, stoic. It is what it is. Buy, sell, I lose. Okay, I don't care, right? Like, it is what it is. But the 11th trade, I may be like, you know, being with my wife and my daughter or playing basketball, being at the water park in Puerto Rico, and then all of a sudden I know a pair is going, like even prime example, gold, right? I said in my free Telegram, gold was going up from, it was at 1897. I said it was gonna, you know, rally up. It went to 1917, which is 200 pips for gold, and I didn't get in the trade. And the reality is, my emotions, like I said, I learned to tame it and control it, but the old me would have tried to get in at 1913, like, I knew this was going up, let me jump in. And you done got in 170 pips too late. Luckily, gold kept going up, but it could have just came back down and nobody would have been at fault, right? Except for you for taking the trade. So the reality is, it's always going to be hard. As time goes on, you're going to be able to control it and tame it better. But just take one step at a time. Don't think, I'm gonna master my psychology no matter what. That's not the case. You know, NBA players still get emotional base and do things, and then at the press conference, like, you know, I shouldn't have did this, you know, I should have been better, I could have been better, I'll be better next time. That's how you gotta approach trading. I'm going to be very, very disciplined and try my best to make this trade and not be emotional based, right? Like, is it in alignment with my trading plan? Is it a 1-to-3 risk reward ratio, or 1-to-2, 1-to-4, whatever your trading plan is? Does this match up? Do I have 2 or 3 confluences? Does this all make sense? If it does, trade it. If you lose, it is what it is, right? That's one of my best qualities. Like, if I lose, I don't care. It is what it is. It's more so the emotion in terms of, should I enter, should I not, right? Like, am I emotional based in that regard? That's harder, in my opinion, than losing. Losing, I don't care. And you guys may say, oh, it's because you already have money now and you done made it. I understand that. Back in the day when I was losing, it was very, very frustrating. But once you get to a point to where if you feel like if I lose, it's okay because I traded along with my plan. Once you feel like that, your winning percentage will drastically outweigh your losing percentage because you're trading alongside your plan. And if for some strange reason, last thing, some strange reason you're not trading with your plan, or you are and you're still losing, it may be time to get a whole new plan, and that's okay to come to that realization. Overall, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. I really took the best questions that I got from the Q&A on my Instagram, which is Swaggy C TV. You should follow me because I do give a lot of value on there as well as YouTube. And answered all those questions for you guys. And like I said, I really hope that helped your trading career. I plan on being super, super active with this YouTube channel because we are still growing. Believe it or not, I've grown more in the last 4 months than I've grown in the last 2 years, and during any 4-month period, right? It feels like 2020 again when this channel is is growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. And for those who are subscribing to me and believing in me and haven't seen what I've done at work because you're just now realizing who I am, I appreciate it. I got something special for y'all over the rest of this year and next year as well. I love you guys. If you have any questions, hit me up. Go to www.livetradinglab.com. That is the only place in the world where you can pay a one-time fee, no membership, for courses and active trading. Daily, weekly, monthly. Like, it's not a signals group to where you gotta pay every single month, or educational group you gotta pay every single month. No, new content is always coming out, but you pay a one-time entry fee, and that's it. No hidden agendas, no BS, no memberships, no upsells, no nothing. I will see you guys inside. Later.